Hey friends, it's Ashley and today I'm here with a new layout for the cut shop. I'm using our new freebie Friday cut file called Spring Showers, and this is available in the cut shop store. I will leave a link to that. You can download it for free from the store. And I'm going to get started here. I'm using this new Sunny Days collection from Crate Paper. This collection was designed by Maggie Holmes, and I really love this one. It is one of my new favorites, and I've been getting some new collections lately, and they've been burning a hole in my pocket, I guess you could say, to use. So I wanted to use this one with this cut file. And so what I'm doing, I'm just cutting some of the flowers here from this little rainbow paper that is in the 6x8 paper pad. And I'm drawing these on the front side just so I can see where I am lining up the pattern paper to go behind the cut file. And I'm going to do these little smaller flowers in some different colors from the rainbow paper, and then I'm going to do a solid color paper for the other flowers. And since I'm tracing on the front side of the paper, I just wanted to use my eraser to erase those pencil marks just in case it didn't line up exactly behind the cut file, and that way that the pencil marks wouldn't show. So I'm just going to do that one more time here. And this is a really fun cut file. You can see that it's got a lot of kind of little intricate pieces, but it's pretty easy to back. You could do each individual flower if you wanted to, or you can do like I do, and the main section of flowers just use a full pattern paper to do that. And it's inside an umbrella, so it's kind of like a bouquet inside of an umbrella, and that was the idea for the cut file. It's just kind of something for spring. I think everybody's ready for a little bit warmer weather and tired of all of the cold and rain. So I finished up all of that with the leaves and the smaller flowers, and now I'm just going to show you how I do the other part. And I did flip this over because I didn't really need to see where I was lining up the cut file, since I'm doing it all from this one solid kind of yellow pattern paper. And I'm just kind of roughly tracing this on the back side so I have an idea of where to cut. And if you cut kind of some pieces that overlap outside of your lines, you can trim those off once you glue your paper to your cut file. And I kind of traced that little triangle there just so I would know which way I wanted my finished cut piece to go. Sometimes I lose track of like the orientation of how to put it back on the cut file, so that kind of helped me remember which side went which way. So I'm just going to trim that out, and once I do that, I'm going to add my liquid adhesive to hold that in place. And the liquid adhesive is really good for these. You could use your tape runner if you wanted to, but I have found that if I use it on these really intricate cut lines like this, it kind of tends to overlap onto the outside, and then if you don't push it in to where it isn't coming through those open spaces, it will kind of stick to other things. So sometimes I don't put my layouts in albums, I just kind of put them in a stack together, and if I have that extra glue, they will stick to the next page. So I try to avoid having that happen. So I have found that the liquid adhesive just works really well for these intricate pieces. And you can see I'm trimming away some of the spots where I had a little bit overlapping outside of the cut line there. And I'm going to do part of the umbrella for you just so you can see that. And I'm just choosing different pattern papers from the 6x8 pad. I like that they're doing the 6x8 pad now. It gives you a little bit more variety, especially sometimes when you're doing cut files and you're doing a larger one, you don't want to cut a full 12x12 paper, and then sometimes 6x6 is not big enough. So the 6x8s kind of worked perfectly for having that smaller pattern, but also being able to back a larger cut file. So I'm just going to do this part of the umbrella here, and I'll finish everything else off camera, getting the bow and the rest of the umbrella put together. And I'm also using that liquid adhesive here, and I will leave a link to this fine liner bottle. I got it on Amazon, so I'll leave links for everything in the description box for you. And now that I'm finished getting all of this backed, I want it to have some dimension, so I'm using some foam behind the cut file, and I'm just cutting some big pieces. I don't want it to kind of droop or fall down anywhere, so I'm going to try to cover as much of this as I can with the foam. And this is great because you can just cut it to whatever size you need it. If you want little pieces, you can cut smaller pieces to go on the back of your cut file or photo, whatever you're using. So you can see that I'm just kind of filling in some little spots here and getting all of that done. I just like the dimension behind the big cut files like this. And since it was solid, it was easy to back with the foam. I didn't have anything showing through where the foam wouldn't fit. So this is a really fun way just to give that dimensional look to your layout. And none of this usually gets wasted because I just cut little small pieces here and there wherever I need them. And I can also cut some pieces to go around the handle of the umbrella just by cutting those little pieces and putting, I like to use my tape runner with this because it does hold it easily. Sometimes depending on what size it is, I do have to use my liquid adhesive. It does shift because the liquid adhesive being wet, so sometimes you have to be careful and make sure you give that time to dry before you start doing anything else with it. So now I have that where I want it, and I really think that looks very pretty. I love everything about that. And I'm going to get started with my photo. Since I had the foam behind the cut file, I did not want to pop up the photo. I just wanted the photo to be flat on the layout. And I like that this pattern paper has the stripes behind it because it kind of helps you line things up. So I have my photo in place, and now I'm going to use, these are just kind of some epoxy stickers from the collection, and I'm going to use the words sunny and bright for my title. And I'm doing that on the opposite side, just kind of creating those two separate clusters on the left and right of the layout. And I usually kind of like to get whatever cut file I'm working with done, and then I usually add my photo and then my title, and then I kind of go from there to finish off everything else with embellishing. So for this collection, I had the little epoxy stickers, the regular stickers. I think I have the chipboard. I did not get the ephemera pack with this because I don't think it was available at the time. But I have a perfect amount of things to embellish with. And I can make the stickers look a little different by either adding them flat on the page or adding some of the foam behind it to give it some dimension. So you can kind of get some different looks with your stickers by doing that. So I'm going to add a little bit around the photo here, and I like these butterflies in the collection. So you can see I used one at the top by the photo, and I wanted to bring in some more florals, so I used a floral sticker there. And I do add another butterfly. This one's a little tiny one, and I wanted to pop him up, and this is where I actually use the liquid adhesive to put the foam on the back of the cup, or the butterfly, the sticker, because he is so tiny. It's very hard to do that with the tape runner. And then this one also I'm going to pop up just a little bit with some of the foam, and I'm using the liquid adhesive to do that also. And you can see how it shifts here when I put it down. It doesn't automatically stick, but it does secure it very well once it dries. It won't go anywhere when you're using a liquid adhesive. So I'm just looking through those stickers, and I didn't want to really over embellish this layout because I really wanted the focus to be on that cut file. I just love the way that that cut file looks with all of the different pattern papers from the collection. So it was kind of the star of the layout. And I'm finishing with one of these other little flowers here that kind of matches the other one that I added down by the title. I wanted to have one by the title and one by the photo to kind of add some balance to the layout. And then there are some tiny little hearts, so I wanted to kind of scatter those around the layout. So I add a few of those kind of in a visual triangle going around the page. And I want to add the date to the layout, and that will finish up this layout. Like I said, I will leave all of the links to everything below for you, so make sure you check that out. You can see the finished layout and close up here at the end. I hope you enjoyed watching today, and I will see you next time.